Haven to begin with Gen G on the attack.
This is going to be really interesting, you know, how Gen G is going to dissect some of that double Sentinel util that's going to be popping up across the map. We've seen a lot of teams really struggle against Deadlock and Pacific. It has a pretty high win rate with between Nongshim and Talon running this agent every once in a while, but it is so frustrating to get through. You can see there's a sonic sensor on beat, kind of the typical place where you'd see like a nano or an alarm bot, and they're just going to burst right through.
TP in, Plant getting ready to come in. Kahlua lingering within the smoke, looking for a timing, goes on the push, is able to find Charon, takes a bit of damage in exchange, but Texture at the same time, able to find Jit Boys over here on the A site. Lobbing in the nano, zoned away for the moment here by the Salvos. Talon are in, they're in somewhat control, but now Snakebite gonna be thrown down, Tide taking a bit of damage. HP bars continue to get whittled away at a Texture, swoops around the back, but it's been noted very intelligently there. Kahlua turns around, is able to find it now, which is gonna be a spray battle. The smoke gets ready to fall, the wall still there in the way of the defuse, being stuck. He's not off it yet, and there's the kill. The last glimpse of a second, Gen G are able to pick up the pistol with 2 players surviving.
Yeah, had full rifles, a few half armors here and there, but Gen G as well going to invest in some rifles of their own off the back of that. Have plenty in the back pocket to go into the next round, so this is a dangerous bonus that Talon is going to be facing.
Slow here off the start of the round. Big exploration in the mid though, all 5 players from Gen G creeping in towards the site. Sonic sensor set up here at the front. As Kahlua going to be forced away the salvos. Creating a bit of space. TP up over the top here for Charon. Now it's situated at back site. Plant to come through. Ult's still a world away here for both squads. Don't have to worry about those in the post plant quite just yet. Primi trying to open up a little bit of space here, but Ash is going to be taken down. Salvos over on the site, able to go ahead and get a catch. Not sure if it was, grab combo.
Yeah,
Cruz had it. You can see there on the assist. Solid kill to be found. Texture looking to try to hold the door, hold this A site, but ends up getting taken down. Solid kill opening here from the side of Jit Boys. Now a 5v3 as they look for the retake. Paranoia towards back. Charon going to be flushed out. Munchkin trying to hold the line. It's going to be a flawless
kind of immediately boxes Gen G in. Doesn't let them go versus the pistol where they let them push out through a link. This time not having any of that. But Gen G already setting up some conditioning, it seems like. Thinking about that B side. Wow, Charon just hits a banger on the Privy.
Very nice opening kill.
That's huge.
So yeah, the Yoru now not going to be much of a concern. So the big setup on this A site, 3 players lingering. It looks like Spike is going to be ushered across towards this part of the map. If they decide to try to execute into this, things can still get very rough, very sloppy here for Gen G. You've got double trips as well as a sonic sensor right here on the entryway.
But you saw Charon with the stealth drone there, and he's generally not the one who's going to be lurking by himself. So maybe, you know, with already the 2-player stack here onto the A site, seems like Talon's happy with their read that they've got. Just a matter of how efficiently can you get through this layered Cypher and Deadlock util. They don't clear any of it yet. Charon TP's past it though.
Himself situated here back site. It seems like they have no idea. Kahlua going to be taken down. Paranoia sent across towards that A connector. Jit Boys. For some kind of timing here. Anything that he can find. Gets a ping reveal onto 1. That's going to be Texture taken down. Tai is able to go ahead and collect the kill, but Jit Boys gets traded out as a casualty, so massive player advantage now to the side of Gen G. Cruz will bound up in towards Heaven, but unless he can find an opening kill here, might just be an angle to save.
Just do whatever damage you can, but tries to go for the peek out the window, gets shut down by Munchkin.
Yeah, and for Tai, there's not much more to be done. He will be able to try to get the catch, and okay, eventually is able to readjust, gets the headshot there onto Charon. Finding 2 eliminations here is Talon, but not the round win, so tie-up not going to be coming through. It will be a 3-1 for
Ultimate. Ash one away from his. So might have kind of a duel with some of our big-time ultimates.
It is Glass Cannon here for Kahlua, forcing to get that op purchase here in for Primi. Needs to survive to be able to put that Armageddon to good use. Ash now grabbing that orb means that we could have dueling ults.
Yeah. But Gen G makes some presence known over at C to make sure they can grab the orb. Now maybe rethinking about Garage. I'm curious to see what they're going to do. You know, how they're going to react off of a deadlock wall. There goes. And they're actually just going to kind of sidestep it. Cruz
coming down. They're suspecting a linger here. lingering lurk around C long. They're correct, but Munchkin out a little bit further, but is not going to be fast enough to find the kill. Puts Cruz down to 45, but ends up losing his life. Very solid response here from the IGL of Talon. Gets him that opening pick.
And Primi TP'd right off the back of that. When you just get Munchkin, kind of assuming there's going to be much behind that. Jitboys gets texture.
Just get taken down. Minor readjustment to have Karan be the one go in to get the spike planted so he can TP out when the net comes through. He's able to do that, avoids it, but now Karan taken down. Armageddon going to be sent out. Ash trying to hold the door, nearly has him lined up, but the Nano from Foxy9 is able to find one. With the Phantom comes up with another. Diffuse starting to be held. The shot gets the hit, takes down Thai, but that is still going to be Primi standing, getting the
style of play for those B hits to set up for those deep post plants with the mollies. So you're going to need to try to find some different answers. A few Guardians being bought down for Gen G, so they're trying to get another round in the books, because if they don't get this one, money behind it for a few players, pretty dire. Cruz again going to try to push out of the doors, but thwarted, and there's Primi.
Primi able to find Munchkin dead in the same position. Just got on that deep line, immediately TP's back over towards the C site. Keeps himself safe, and now it's going to be Munchkin IGLing from beyond the grave.
One suppressed.
Forward presence here from Foxy9 slid up in the smoke just in front of B, but Gen G now starting to try to tackle this A site where once again the lion's share of this defensive util is situated.
Yeah, you still have Karan there to clear some of it. They're going to use some Tejo utility as well. They get the trips, miss one of the sonic sensors, but everything else is cleared, and Foxy finds one on the lurk.
Got two tap, basically in transit, able to find that hit. Cruz gets taken down. Kahlua spotting out the placement of the util here. Foxy looking like he wants to challenge the angle, does so, and Kahlua able to strike, finds the kill. Ash quick to trade it back. Keeps him in with a 3v3 as Primi. Sprinting around to the dimensional drift. Looking for a weapon here, but Texture, noting the flank, is able to find Jitboys. Now into the post plant. Not much util to speak of here. Just end up being a firing squad down from window. If Talon can try to find the setup here to start actually getting a tap on this plant.
Got a couple flashes, but you got to get deep enough to use them.
Salvos go through. Primi tag to 11. Dai does manage to come away with one. His Texture's going to be taken down. Primi finding another! And he finds 3! 11-8. But that op still carried forward. Gen G knocked back onto a bit of a half buy here. Just the one hero Vandal, as well as a Bulldog in alongside this Sheriff and the Stingers. And Dai going to be able to find one. Karan taken down. Does get suppressed. There's the stealth drone. Chases forward.
But a heavy
Gen
stack.
G, yeah, abandoning this.
Yeah, it was a heavy stack early from Talon off of any pressure, trying to thwart the quick hit from Gen G, and they do. And the B site is a real problem. You know, Talon is perfectly happy to funnel Gen G into that area. So you stack the Sentinel util onto A, you have Primi on op on C, and you go B, and that's where, you know, the Deadlock Tejo combo can be really annoying. They've got so much util to clear that space. And it makes it really challenging for Gen G, no matter how good their post plants are, and a judge for Cruz.
Swing the corner, snappy to readjust for Texture. And Salvos absolutely annihilate Munchkin. Hope of a Thrifty very much gone. And
Solo gonna trust Munchkin to make the right call here. Let's see if they go for another quick one. Cruz just with a little bit of spam early. They used the salvos early, did Gen G to clear sewers. Just slow marching their way forward. I'm not sure if they know about this forward-facing Cypher trip either. This was here in the previous round, but it didn't get cleared, and I don't think it ever got noted by Gen G, so that might cause them some grief on this execute if they do commit.
and either way, even if it's not that, just the triple stack that they have.
That's not great either.
It's a very solid read here from the side of Talon. And
Cruz knows. He knows they have to try something different.
Yeah.
He is just not working.
well, the deep angle push, not spotting out too much of anything. It looks like now Gen G is going to look to re-wrap around. Texture able to break that line of sight before the triple push into sewers. Goes forward, but this is still so much info gained for Talon.
And they put up the wall. They're expecting this push out. They know
They
they've
are
got the
funneling
space.
them.
Yes, exactly.
Right now, reading them like a book. Grab net set, not getting a catch on anyone, I do believe. Sets are going to be cleared out, and Cruz is on a peek, able to find it. Now they strike in from behind. They are just absolutely pinned in position. Munchkin able to find one as Jitboys does get taken down. He's trying to swing around looking for a little bit more, but now the spike is going to be on the floor. Ty catching Ash. And Kahlua catching Munchkin, and this round is so beautifully read from Talon, understanding and manipulating the movements of
Side of the map on Haven that you would typically see.
And similarly, a little bit inverted, I suppose, is Talon shifting Primi across.
Yep.
Gate Crash at the moment just set up to go over towards the A connector. As oh, well, never mind, it's not C.
Of course it's B.
It's back over to the B site. Quick TP to readjust here from Ty, just sure to not get caught. And he is, of course, the one with the operator now. And ooh, catches a glimpse. Looking for the stun, still gets a quick peek, and that's going to be Foxy9. Take it down. Camera cleared out. Salvo sent both sides. Genji control of the site here for the moment. Ash going to be left to stick around with Seam as Munchkin, you've been spotted, and you've been sprayed down. It's just far too late. Swap to the shorty. Ty cuts down Ash. Texture the overdrive, able to come away with one. But needs so much more than that. Karan now trying to fight their way out of what looks to be a damn near impossible situation. The overdrive now expired. Sets the wall to try to act like he's repositioned. Runs out of bullets in the stinger. And it failed. Still do have a lockdown available, but similarly, Kahlua, he's got an Armageddon, so he can just clear that and disrespect it. Munchkin netted, but able to get around the corner here fast enough to avoid getting caught.
Now Munchkin trying to be that anti-lurk guy. You know, in the back of his mind, he's got to be thinking about how Talon was able to push that space for free. Previously, he has to be the one to keep control of it while the rest of the team tries to find openings on B and C, but Talon aware of it. They're making aggressive moves towards that side of the map. They're just going to leave Primi on his own. He's got the op again to watch A.
This time, though, Talon, slight misread. Like you said, they have Primi situated. So they're not going to be spotting much of anything there. It's Foxy. Is prepared, gets the catch. Crew's going to be taken down.
Seemed like a timing idea there from Cruz. But Genji has been pausing maybe longer than he expected. They're going to catch him trying to find that opening for the lurk, and it's a misread from Talon. They think this is going to be A. Genji's been kind of making contact and rotating, but this time just going to barrel on in.
Picture dashing forward, try to clear things out. Goes to the site here, primed for the taking. Is now just looking to play off the timing. Lockdown going to be committed. Armageddon not going to be seen here. Talon realizing that they're just not in a strong enough position to try to flood back in off the back of that if they do go ahead and clear out the lockdown. So now they will look, try to get their way back into this. Deep lurk from Jitboys, swinging around through the attacker's spawn. Alarm bot, however, is still set up there from from Foxy9, I should say, to alert for Munchkin.
This one should be about done.
Yep, should just be a tuck and save here. Jitboys may be able to come away with the kill. We'll be able to find that one. One off now, a neural theft. Spam through, Ash nearly catching the time to find him. Jitboys repositions, looks to play this out a bit more aggressively. As the cage falls, he'll get his ult in death. Operator gonna be saved.
Primi this time takes some sewer space. Cypher back over towards A.
Cruz on a very tight angle. No one giving him the time there to go for the peak, so backs away.
Yeah, they're gonna use the drone.
That's just gonna be sent. They get a glimpse though. They know that this deadlock is in position, and Cruz is just spamming through the wall. Texture dead. Just not looking to reposition fast enough. Now Sonic Sensor is situated here in Garage. Gun barrel spotted. Primi on the hit a flick. Munchkin taken down. Wall set up in Garage. No access here. Genji once again are losing the plot. Double face in towards long. Ty able to come up with a kill. Foxy9 dead. Swing in, looking for the hit. Ash able to find one, but Kahlua just frantically spraying, is able to find Karan. And now it is just Ash all alone. Looking to try to clutch this out. Salvo's buy him enough space to go ahead and get the plant. Salvo's in response, however, take him down to 60. You've got Primi swooping around from behind here. Now it's C-Long scoped in on the op.
Try to hold this angle again. See if he can trick Talon a bit.
But swap should have been heard. Oh, faces in. Two players there. Will end up falling decently.
It's done. Four seems challenging.
Yeah. Last round of the half. Armageddon's available on both sides. Jit Boys and Neurotheft is there. Foxy, he's ready for this push out. It's been happening consistently from the side of Talon, but Primi playing a bit more reserved this time, not looking to overstretch the angle.
Cutting through.
They're just very wary. Gen G. They're going to get the stealth drone out. Doesn't see any contact. They have to re-clear themselves. Make sure there's no push coming through sewers again.
A little bit wider. Foxy just not fast enough. Primi quick on the draw. Finds that kill and a player down here. Gen G.
Go, go, go.
Talon taking the right steps towards securing that 8th round victory here in the half.
Quick rotate after clearing the barrier mesh. Now they want to try to find a way through towards A, but
30 seconds left.
Ty, also seemingly aware, hasn't seen anything over at B. Kill, Jit Boys.
Just has the cam situated, slide across texture. Able to find Jit Boys, just sprinting through the cage. Swoops around the back, 2 players now lingering within the smokes. Karan pushing forward, able to find one, the spike. Need to get planted here. Ty still looking to cause chaos here on the side. Gets the spot out, pushes forward, ends up getting taken down with 2 seconds to spare. The plant now being stuck is Primi. It's the last one standing. Looking to try to clutch it out, but Karan off on the flank angle. Has the headshot. It's going to be Gen G narrowly making their way up to 5-round wins.
Yeah, I mean, that was really tenacious defense from the side of Talon. Tough nut to crack for sure. And eventually Gen G able to get there. That's a good paranoia to set up texture on the entry by Karan. And then Karan able to push deep into the back of site again. Finds the angle where Primi's not expecting him and preventing him from getting another nasty clutch. Let's see what the other side of the coin looks like. I mean, again, Talon looked good on their attacker side against T1. It's really annoying if they can find that open space. I mean, they have a lot of these same kind of util to sort of clear angles and get information that Gen G does. You have a Tejo, so a lot of those ideas are going to be there in terms of the same kind of play.
I think, yeah. Something tells me this is a bit of a lopsided question.
Yeah.
Also over towards the garage, stealth drone going to be sent through. Munchkin able to find a bit of damage, but suffer some in kind.
But they got the wall deep, so the 2 players stuck on B have to clear that before they're going to be able to help.
Primi's able to find one. Ash going to be taken down. That was the full HP player there at back site. Texture now arriving, sliding forward. Karan able to find one. Kahlua going to be dropped, but Cruz trades it back out. The swoop around the back. Primi looking for the timing to try to swing out from the smoke. Does so and eventually drags the shots across, finding Munchkin's head. Foxy now the last one standing. Primi, Cruz, both tagged up. Jit Boys, however, full HP, full ghosts, full pressure on the shoulders of this Killjoy.
Doable. Still have a grab net though for Cruz.
And there's the catch. Finds the first one. And needed to hit every single headshot from there and cannot. That's going to be Talon taking the pistol here in the second half, tying that up in a 1-to-1, further stretching the lead.
Yeah, and I mean, again, you have so much ability to manipulate the map here with this comp that Talon brings, and to understand where and when your opponents are. It's going to be really difficult for a lot of teams. Gen G here today on their map pick, also already struggling. And now they're trying to set up crossfires with the classics outside of the door. Sheriff for texture. Is this going to catch Talon off guard? Drone's not going to spot it. It's going into the garage. They don't like it.
Yep, they're not going to play around with this. Ball falling. Potential catcher on a Kahlua. It's out in mid. That's maybe a weapon eventually recovered in the round, but looks like it will just be a re-aggress from Talon into mid, try to keep that weapon protected. And does get scooped up there by Cruz, in fact.
Yeah, that's...
Oh my God. He's just donk walking into garage, and he ends up getting taken down. Primi quickly trades it back as Jit Boys on the linger up in towards A. He's able to find Ash. Gen G, though, really scratching their heads, have a strong understanding that this is going to be a seaside plant, especially now that they hear it coming through. Get themselves into a 3v3. Some more damage dealt from Gen G would start being costly to Talon. Thai doing well to find that kill, though.
One enemy remaining.
And that one. Maybe the third one, yes.
For Talon, up by 4 rounds. Into the bonus, have some Guardians, a shotgun for Cruz.
And that's a great way to start working towards a conversion. Hell of a shot from Chit Boys. Ash dead, and now this scrambles the forces from Gen G across the map. Meantime, just gonna be an exec forward here onto the B site for the side of Talon. Wall set up, cutting off that A connector. Texture getting the bad news, just trying to spray that wall down. As Munchkin has no idea. Right in between the shoulder blades. Finds the kill, Texture dead. This round is as good as done.
Got to save. No
They
choice.
Absolutely do. And Cruz could just throw himself at them. He's got a Bucky.
Yeah, why not?
Talon are gonna get up to 10 rounds with a bonus conversion. Gen G left scratching their heads.
Turret down.
It's just, they're winning so many of these opening duels. They're so on point with their reads on the timings. The deadlock util, so annoying. All of this for Talon. Just incredibly well put together, incredibly well executed. Players such a struggle reading the map.
They are just storming their way forward now. Foxy just getting absolutely overwhelmed. Premi will get taken down there as the snake bite is enough to go ahead and confirm the kill. That slows up the approach from Talon. Gives them pause for the moment. Jit Boys still lurks forward into window, but Munchkin seemingly aware of this, but cannot find the shot. Jit Boys is absolutely devastating. Caron too late to try to find the punish here on the tie.
I mean, this is actually a pretty good read by Gen G. And you got the ult out of the Yoru when you traded it. It looked like it was going to be good, but then Munchkin loses the 1v1, and all of a sudden you're scrambling to try to control the map.
Caron, okay, I was going to say Cam Toggle is set up. Jit Boys keeps himself safe. And now looks for the punish and will not be able to find it.
Little overconfidence for Jit there.
Caron able to go ahead and secure them a 3v3, but the plant now gets ready to come through. You still have this deadlock.
Spike planted.
2 sonic sensors and a grav net available for Cruz to try to prevent a retake.
Can't go through heaven. That's cut off by the barrier mesh. And then there's sonic sensors at the door. What do? You got to rely on a lurk. You don't have one.
So they are just going to go ahead and clear this one out. Kahlua, position ought to be noted, got grav netted there by his own teammate, but no punish to be found. Wall going to be set up, Texture dropping down, out from heaven, able to find one. He's out wide, however, and Kahlua will just massacre all 3 players. 11-5, Talon running away with this map, and it's Gen G's pick.
This is a treat to watch. Talon in full control here on Haven. I mean, again, this isn't a bad start at all for Gen G, but this right here is devastating. Now they're going to try to slow walk their way up. A really far forward alarm bot. Early pop of the nano, so some time bought for rotations. Poison Cloud.
Oh.
Ooh, that.
Yeah, tiny touch of damage on the Cruz.
Yeah, looked like it might have caught a little bit more, but.
And mostly connecting into the legs.
Foxy, though, took some damage as well.
Yeah, he gets the worst of it by a pretty large margin. Those drones just saying hi to each other.
Slow rotate over towards C, and Gen G leaning the other way. There's been so much contact on the other side of the map. And they're so quick to rotate. TP's gonna go back behind the box. The salvos to cut off the corners.
That rings out the bad news. Deep in the back site, the flash connecting. Foxy trying to get himself out of garage, ends up getting taken down. Texture now needing to do so much here for the squad.
Spike down.
Does well to come away with a second kill, but there you have yourself a 2v3 attempt at a retake here for Gen G to stop Talon from getting up the map point. Premi going for the plant, going to be forced away.
Grenade is live.
I should know that he got a bit of connection
Spike
there.
planted.
Spots out Jit Boys, knows the position of 2, spots the head of 1, and cannot find either.
He has been mostly very, very good. I'd say other than that peek up through courtyard against Caron and a couple rounds ago, he's been near flawless. He has been reading the map so well, playing this Cypher so effectively. Great lurks.
Placing swarm grenade.
They are just on point. Let's see if Premi can be, if he's going to be ready for that player up in the tucked into the corner. Haven't seen that yet. seemingly thinking about it, but Karan knows that he can hide in that angle, and there's enough space. That toxic screen, and TLN, I think, getting a sense that there's a trap behind that wall.
Foxy in a committed spot. We'll find one, but cannot get any damage across on the cruise, in fact. He's now one away from having that annihilation on line. Munchkin finding the one kill, but again, the trade exchange. The annihilation going to be sent out. That gets a banking shot into the corner?
What?
I'm amazed that one hit, but Karan, he's dead. Cruz has got 3. Primmy's looking for the rest, and Texture now in a 1v1. The push in, and Texture barely 4 half armors.
They're 1 away from Primmy's.
Primmy just strafing in. Disrespects all the util. Ash blinded up, dead on the jump.
What a play.
Salvo sent, they flush him out. Foxy picked apart. Texture as well, tagged. As this is the end of Haven. Mask will go on. Munchkin, far too late to find anything. The neural theft will tell all. As he is just strafing in along his back. Jumps out, just playing distract, playing protect. Primmy giving over his HP bar to secure the kill. And Texture, you're a damn good player, but I think this is a bridge too far. 13-6, TLN looking